was so happy at Hey besties, welcome back to my channel today. Guys, I am going to be talking about The Summer I Turned Pretty Season 2, Episode 4. If you missed my last video, I did a video on Episode 1 through 3. I will link it in the description. You guys have been loving that video so much. So, you guys, there's a lot in store for me to talk about for this episode. I wrote the same amount for just Episode 4 that I did Episode 1 through 3. Let's just get right into this video because it's a good one. Before this video gets started, please don't put any book spoilers in the comments. I have not read the books yet. I am planning on reading them, just haven't done it yet. So please don't put any of the book spoilers in the comments for me, please. All right, so where I want to start off is Conrad's panic attack. All I have to say about that is like, he just needs a hug and to let it out. He just needs to talk and he needs a hug. So I really liked that Steven was right there with him. He ran out, he went with Conrad. It was really nice, and it was nice to see them together, and you know, Steven being like so kind and understanding of Conrad's, you know, mental state, you guys. And then the next one with Julia, the muffins are for the open house. Well, they're for me now. Thank you very much. You guys, I can't even wait to say and talk about her more. I just have to say right now, I despise her. I despise Julia so much. And I don't understand why they keep saying Aunt Julia when they like don't even know her and she's so just mean and everything. Just don't with the aunt and stuff. No. Oh, you guys, I despise her so much, and I hope you guys agree because I do not like her. Next, you guys, I loved when Conrad flipped out on Julia and kind of Sky. I thought that was so great, and because he really got on Julia's, you know, booty, but then kind of on Sky's a little bit too, you know. Oh, because you know what he said, and then he walked away. I loved that so much. I'm like, yes, Conrad, yes. And then Conrad is just the best for so many reasons, but then I loved the part when he was like, sounding like an Aunt Julia problem to me. That was so hilarious. I loved that part. I'm like, yes, I just loved it. It was so great. And then she was like, and I'm like, right back at you, like the heck. But I thought that was so hilarious that Conrad said that. I loved it. Also, next one, I love so much. You're gonna hear a lot of me saying I loved this. I loved everything. So I loved when Belly started lying to like the realtor. Is that who she is? I don't know. Maybe realtor, house person. Whoever the girl was, realtor, I think. I loved when Belly started lying to her and, you know, saying, oh, the house isn't for sale, blah, blah, blah. And then when the girl's like, who are you? And Conrad steps in, she's my girlfriend. Oh, you guys. Oh my gosh. Yes. Yes. I was so happy at that part. I'm like, oh. I was so happy. That's all I can say. I just loved it so much. I was like rooting for it. I'm like, yes, yes. But then once they like walked away together and he was like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to call you my girlfriend. Yes, you did. And you both loved it. You both were very happy about it. And like, I feel like you could just see like Belly's like kind of grin. She loved it. She liked it, whether she wants to admit it or not. She liked it, and so did he. Next, it was so hilarious when, who said it? I can't remember. When whoever said, oh, the AC's broken, and Steven was like, oh, what? No way. Like, that was hilarious, and then Taylor looked over at him, because she knew right away, right? You know?
She knows.
I thought that was so funny. Like, the way he said it, I'm like, can you be a little more obvious, Steven? And then, another, you know, reason to hate Julia is when she's like, Conrad, the least that you can do is get out of my hair. Girl, the least you can do is get out of my house. What the heck? Like, shooey away. Nobody likes you except, you know, Sky is like literally the only person that seems to like you. We'll get into Sky a little bit, you guys. And then speaking of Sky, the part when she was like, oh, your mom wasn't a saint, Conrad. Excuse me? Like, I have to tell you guys, like, I just did not like Sky in the whole entire episode, but that part, are you kidding me? That, like, even if Sky were to, you know, improve in this season, I'm still not even gonna root or like Sky because that comment, nope, I wouldn't like anyone after that comment, and because it was just such a poopy thing to say, and especially when it's so fresh for Conrad and Jeremiah. I hate you. I do not like you or your mom. Okay, and then kind of all together, I thought it was awesome when Belly was like, oh, you want to see me beat Conrad's, you know, bleep butt? And then when they started running into the arcade and he like tried to open the door and she like went under him, I loved that part so much. It was so cute, but then it reminded me of when Conrad like reached over her like in the beach snow scene, like when he was opening the door. Those two like reminded me of each other. It was so cute. And then I thought it was so funny when they were all like, you know, F you, and like flipping each other off. I thought that was really funny for some reason. I don't know if it was supposed to be funny. I thought it was funny, you guys. And then the whole laser tag part, and Steven was like, Taylor, Taylor, where are you? I'm gonna get you, Taylor. I'm like, dude, what? What are you saying? Like, it's so obvious, and like, I'm surprised the girls were like, the heck? I feel like Belly and Taylor would just be like about it, but it was funny. But I'm like, also at the same time, you're so weird, Steven. So weird the way you're saying it. And then it was funny at the rock climbing part when Belly and Cameron were talking, and then it like pans over to Conrad and Jeremiah. Well, kind of everyone just was like, but especially like Conrad and Jeremiah were jealous. But it was so funny because like Conrad's like, and Jeremiah's like, it was so funny. I'm like, I don't think anybody has to, you know, worry about Cameron anymore. I think he's, you know, out of the picture as far as Belly and Cam. And then it was so cute when Belly was like, oh, something about I had the best trigonometry teacher, and Conrad was like, thank you. I'm like, eee. I loved it. It was so cute. And then the next part when Jeremiah, I thought it was really funny, even though I'm not team Jeremiah, it was really funny when he was like, nice shot, Belly, I think he said, and then Steven was like, Jeremiah, wrong team. I thought that was really funny. Okay, and then can we just take a minute to just, you know, praise Conrad? It was so cute when he did like the one hand throwing the basketball shot, going like this, not even looking, and threw the basketball. I liked that part. It was so cute. And also just in that whole scene, well, in a lot of this episode, but specifically right there, I thought he just looked so happy, and it just makes me happy seeing Conrad happy. It's just such a nice thing to just see Conrad happy, right? Oh my gosh. And then during one of the throwback scenes when Conrad and Belly were at the, you know, fair together, and they were going up to that girl that he liked or whatever, and she was like, oh, I like your shorts, and he's like, oh yeah, they're nice. And then Belly's like, you told me that the shorts were too short when I wore the same exact one 2 days ago. I love that Belly always just calls Conrad out in front of, different girls, because she did that in season 1 too, at like the bonfire beach scene with Nicole. Oh, you said that all Debs are sheep and blah blah. Like, she's just always calling him out, and I love it. And then 2 different parts with the book scene part. I loved that Cleveland showed up to Laurel's like book fair signing thing. I thought that was really nice. I was so excited to see Cleveland again. And I also was really sad that right after Cleveland and Laurel were done talking, that she started texting Belly and didn't send the text the first time, like, oh, I miss her so much, about Susanna, because then she erased it and then said something else. I'm like, oh, no, she needs to let it out. She needs to, and she needs to tell, she needs to be comfortable about talking about that with, both Steven and Belly. I think it's important, and I think it's especially important, well, for all of them, but for her to be able to let it out, since she's like the one that's been holding it in. And then at the like race car scene, I loved when like Conrad like jumped over the gate or fence or whatever it is, right? I loved that part so much. It's so cute. And then he also in that scene looked so happy during the whole racing scene. It's just so nice just to see, happy smiling Conrad. Are you kidding me? Look how cute. Look how happy he is. And then Conrad, when he's like, oh, the Tower of Terror awaits, and then he like smiles at Belly. I'm just so happy to, start seeing them together again, and that he's just happy and starting to smile at her again. And I love just the lead up to them, slowly just starting to get, not even necessarily right now a romantic relationship back, just like even just getting just their friendship back, and just getting fully, I don't know, not necessarily comfortable, because I think they're still comfortable around each other because they both do still love each other, but I think you guys know what I mean, like just, slowly building that relationship back. I love it. And then after Jeremiah and Belly held hands on the ride, which, no holding hands, no, I do not root for it. No thanks. Go away, Jeremiah. But then it was funny when, I don't know, was it funny? I don't know. When Taylor was like, interesting, and Belly's like, what? And Taylor's like, just interesting. No, Belly, run away from Jeremiah and run into Conrad's arms right now. And then this kind of is a lot right here, so I have to kind of look down, but Conrad and Steven in the car, and Steven said, I haven't seen you this happy in a long time. Oh my gosh, I love the scenes with Steven and Conrad. I think it's really nice to see them together, but I think I extra like it because Steven seems to be, well, fully on Conrad's side, but then, on Conrad and Belly's side, which I love. I am all for Conrad and Belly and Steven being on their side. And then also with that whole scene, Conrad saying, I know my mom wanted us to be happy, but it's been hard. I love that, slowly, even though it was a little sentence, he kind of just let that out, because I think that's what he just needs. He needs to just let little by little out. He just get it out, Conrad. And I think that was a good start, at least, to starting to let some of it out. And then, you guys, my favorite part, like, I had several favorite parts in this episode, but I don't know, this might have been my favorite part, when Steven was like, the vibes between Conrad and Belly. I was like, oh, yes, Steven, thank you for saying that. And then he was like, just an observation. And then Conrad was like, I appreciate your observation. And then he just like stares out the window smiling. I loved that part so much. I was so happy that Steven said that. And then that Conrad looked so happy with that part. And I was trying to think, like, you know, what Conrad's maybe thinking. And I feel like he's just kind of thinking about everything and taking Steven's comment into thought and thinking about it. But I was really happy about that whole scene. I thought it was perfect. Just a few more now, you guys. I think about like 4 more, 5 more, something about that. No, I don't know, in there. Conrad, when he said, how come you didn't want another junior mint? And Belly said, I'm not 13 years old anymore, Conrad. That was so sad. I'm like, Belly, come on. I felt so bad for Conrad there, but then it also made me think of, I'll put this clip in here. Maybe I'll just put it in by itself.
Grow up, Belly. Grow up.
That, like, Belly saying, or that Conrad, there's like 2 different parts before when Conrad was like, oh, you know, grow up, and then grow up, Belly. And then once she said that, then he's sad. So, I don't know. I understand both sides, but I gotta just more so feel bad for Conrad. But I'm like, he's told her a few times to grow up, and then when she said that she's grown up and not 13 anymore, then he's sad. So I'm like, ugh. But I think I feel mostly bad for Conrad because I think he's just trying to be nice. Next, you guys, the cliffhanger when they walked in and everything's moved out. Like, it makes me so angry. The house might belong to Julia, but everything in the house, that doesn't mean everything in the house belongs to her. So that's what makes me so mad. And not only just everything in the house is gone, but what about Junior Mint? That's the thing that I immediately thought of. And then I thought about the paintings, you know, that were on the stairs of Conrad, Jeremiah, and Belly. Where are the paintings? But especially just where's Junior Mint? It makes me so sad. And then especially that, like, she just got the giraffe instead of another Junior Mint, because then I feel like that's going to make her sad. Or maybe it just makes me sad that Junior Mint's gone. I don't know. I hope, you know, in episode 5, which comes out tomorrow, that I'm excited about, that, or when you guys are watching it, probably tonight, which I'm also really excited that they've been doing Thursdays instead of Fridays. Anyways, but I can't wait to see what happens with all of that. And that was such a big cliffhanger that they left us on. I was just so mad that Julia took all of that out of the house. Like, girl, how much worse can you get? Just, okay, kind of like little things, the biggest things that I think of this episode. My number one theory is that I feel like Cleveland is going to help get the house. I don't know, I just have that feeling that, you know, he came back in this episode and then all of this stuff is happening with the house. I don't know, I just feel like somehow he's going to help with this house and getting it back and helping all of the kids. Next is, at this point, I think Laurel just needs to be called, like, by whoever, by Belly, Steven, whoever, it doesn't matter. She just needs to be called at this point. I think it's important, and I think it's only getting crazier and worse, so I think she needs to be told. Next and last thing is that I just don't like Julia or Sky. I think they're both horrible. I don't like them, and so far, honestly, I don't see Sky's point in the show. I feel like I said in the beginning that I feel like Sky somehow is going to help all of them, you know, and maybe convince her mom to not sell the house. I don't know, but, like, I don't even know at this point, because even if Sky somehow does convince her mom, if that happens, I don't know. I don't think I'm even gonna like Sky still, because she's been awful so far, and especially with the, you know, your mom's not a saint comment. So yeah, there's my take on Julia and Sky. Boo. I do not like them at all. Alright, that's it for my episode 4, The Summer I Turned Pretty, episode 4. Little review, recap, thoughts, review. I think I already said review, but that's my opinion and all of that for this episode. And don't forget, I will be doing one of these for each episode each time it comes out, so each week. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, all the good things, and I'll see and talk to you in the next video. Bye!